Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today, we need to take a look at some news. I know, I only brought you like a news video yesterday, but ladies and gentlemen, there is more news. You see those Morpeko Snorlax pin collections? The ones I told you about yesterday are real. Well, I mean, we knew they were real, but now we know stuff about them, so that's quite nice. And the dates for the Pokemon trading card game World Championships have been announced. So that's quite nice. Now, I say quite nice, and we will start on this story incidentally, because you see, Worlds is actually a week earlier than most people thought it would be. And the problem is that there are many people who went, oh, I am fairly sure Worlds is going to be this day. So I'm just going to book the day off work. I'm going to go and book myself a hotel. I'm going to get ready for Worlds. Well, ladies and gentlemen, not necessarily the best idea. Now, I haven't actually said the dates yet. Worlds are confirmed to be happening in the XL in London. Venue shouldn't be a huge surprise at this stage. That is where the international championships, the European ones, were held both the years they were in London. I went there twice. I streamed both the internationals. It was a lot of fun. Lovely venue, although because of all the recycled air, because it's so big, take water, it is not the easiest place to deal with. I mean, it's probably more of an issue if you're sitting behind a desk talking the entire time, but take water. But the venue itself, the XL, it's a fine venue. I'll do a video or something about that nearer the time. But it is happening between the 14th and the 16th of August. This is weird. Why is this weird? Because sets are always dropped on the first Friday of the month. And the legality of those sets always starts for tournament play from the third Friday of the month. This means that the third Sword and Shield expansion, we have no information about this whatsoever, will be dropping on August the 7th and will be legal for tournament play on Friday, August the 21st. That is a week after Worlds. Now, this wouldn't be entirely unprecedented, but it would not match with what we've seen recently. Last year, we actually saw a double dip. We had a rotation right before Worlds, and we had Unified Minds being legal for tournament play as soon as the tournament started. That was really our introduction. It did actually lead us to this fantastic one-day format where we had rotated, but Unified Minds wasn't legal. At some point, I'm going to do a bunch of research and figure out what the best decks were for that one-day tournament, or one-day format, but unfortunately, I'd say we don't have time for that now. And we also saw Henry Brand went and actually won the World Championships with Mewtwo and Mew. And it was huge. We rotated to Ultra Prismon, as well as introducing Unified Minds for the very first time. It was so much fun. And we assumed that's what they were going to do this year. We assumed that we were going to have Sword and Shield free, legal for tournament play on the first day of Worlds. That's why so many people thought it would be the 21st and the 22nd. Now, do not despair. And the 23rd, I suppose. My prediction very strongly is they are going to make an exception and make Sword and Shield free legal that weekend. And it's not exactly some huge thing to make an exception. They literally rotated early last year to give us a better, or at least a more interesting, newer format for Worlds. I thought it was better, but not everyone agreed. Well, why would they not then make a set legal a weekend early? As long as they announce it in plenty of time, I really don't see the issue with doing that. To be clear, as it stands at the moment, it's not going to be legal. And that's weird. And it kind of will really dampen the release of Sword and Shield free, so yeah. How did this happen? Well, very simply, the month actually starts on a Saturday. The 1st of August is a Saturday, and frankly, ladies and gentlemen, that means that Worlds, if we put Worlds on the third weekend, literally could not have been later. It is the absolute latest Worlds would have ended up being, and we don't really want that. Too late. So I think what's basically happened is Pokemon have gone, nah, we want it a week earlier. We'll do it a week earlier, and we'll make the set legal. Just to be clear, as it stands at the moment, the set will not be legal for Worlds. There has been no announcement to the contrary. I feel fairly confident that will change, just like I feel fairly confident they will rotate right before Worlds. And while we're here, I am completely confident that our rotation just before Worlds will be Team Up On. Essentially, that will give us all of the tag team Pokemon like Pikachu and Zekrom. Every set from tag team Pokemon on will be legal, any set before won't. So I also told you we're getting Snorlax and Morpeko pin collections, and the good news is, in my video yesterday, I was completely right about what these promos are going to be. And the bad news is that in my video yesterday, I was completely right about what these promos are going to be. Let me explain. So the Snorlax pin collection, and we can see here you basically get 3 packs, plus a promo, plus a pin badge. Now this Snorlax pin badge, oh my goodness, it's amazing. And the artwork on the promo, oh my goodness, it's amazing. But it's clearly an alternate art version of the Snorlax from the V-Deck. Like I mentioned that in my video yesterday as a possibility, because that's the only Sword and Shield Snorlax we'd seen. But the lovely David Hockman over at limitlesstcg.com/translations has translated the Snorlax from the V-Deck's first attack as Rolling Tackle. It does 80 damage for free colourless energy. The Snorlax in the pin collection has an attack called Rolling Tackle. It does 80 damage for free colourless energy. That doesn't necessarily tell us it is definitely a reprint, but it's a reprint, which is slightly upsetting because I've been on the record as saying that it's not a particularly good card. I mean, the other attack, the one you can't see on the promo there, is 4 energy 130. And I could waste your time telling you all about Welder and Malamar and all the different ways you could accelerate energy, and it's all true. And it's a colourless Pokemon, which means it goes in any deck, can use any energy, and it's a basic Pokemon and all of that. And 130 isn't a terrible amount of damage, but you're not hitting for weakness. One of the more controversial videos I did was when I gave Onyx from Lost Thunder its own video, and that did 120 for 4 colourless energy. But that was a Pokemon that hit weakness on stuff like Pikachu and Zekrom, and got a one-hit KO on stuff like Pikachu and Zekrom, and was a basic. That's what made it relevant. If Snorlax was hitting a great weakness, yay, but it doesn't, so boo. As for the Morpeko, it is, as I suggested in yesterday's video, the promo from Japan with the adorable artwork where he's running to eat a Naplin. Ah. Oh yeah, there's also a Natu and a branch for some reason. First attack, 1 colourless energy lets you draw a card. Yay! And the second attack, 1 lightning, 1 colourless energy, 40 damage, flip a coin if heads paralysis. It is a very standard promo card. It's fine. Drawing cards in the early game when you've got nothing to do is alright. Having paralysis on a coin flip is alright. Being able to do a decent amount of damage, 40 with paralysis ain't bad. It's all alright. And the artwork's amazing, and I love the coin, incidentally. Not the coin, it's a pin badge. I love the pin badge. I'm getting both these pin collections for the pins. And I do adore the artwork on this Morpeko. In fact, both the promos have great artwork. But I don't think either of the promos are particularly playable. But we're getting these awesome pins. And we're getting more cool stuff. And Worlds has been announced. I mean, we knew Worlds was going to be in London, but we now have a date, we have a location, we know when and where Worlds is happening. And I, for one, am very much delighted about this. For those of you asking if I'm going to be at Worlds, as several of you had, hopefully, that is the plan. For those of you asking if I'm playing at Worlds, no. I've got 2 young kids, right? I got a 20-month-old and a 2-month-old. I am not going to get to enough tournaments to get an invite. I'm going to a regional later in the year. If I win that, maybe I'll get an invite. But I am not going to enough tournaments with 2 tiny babies to really make it worthwhile. As for whether I'm going in any other capacity, I've had a lot of questions about that. And the answer is, I don't really know. Most of what you're asking is out of my control. But we can all start making our travel plans, and yes, ladies and gentlemen, I will absolutely be doing a video in the not too distant future, giving my advice for travelling to the World Championships and things you need to know about London. Because I've commentated 2 tournaments from the XL in London, I kind of know the place. For now, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to know about all of your opinions on all of this stuff, so let me know in the comment section. Go nuts, be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWassy, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do exactly that. And please do make sure you're checking out youtube.com/WassyPlays, where we talk about a whole bunch of games that don't have Pokémon in, but are still awesome. For instance, did you know there's a new Digimon game coming? But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.